Television. Got a wonderful program for you today. We got a lot of things that we need to cover on today. We have our special guest, who is the CEO of Mixed Race Love Magazine 2018. She'll be with us, joining shortly. And her name is Lakia Siobhan Leitner, and she'll be here with us talking about her new magazine, the Mixed Race Love Magazine. And I tell you, she really gets into this magazine. I want to take this opportunity to thank her because she had Hartford community leaders featured in this new magazine that she has here. And you can get a copy. She'll give you information on how you can get a copy of this new magazine. Okay, what's happening in and around our city? Hartford, we are continue praying for a young man family that was shot in Manchester at the restaurant in Manchester, praying for that family over the new year. Also, we're praying for the young man that was shot in the South End near Bushnell Street in the Hartford area. And so we're praying for that family also. We asking you say special prayers to that family, and they're going to be having a vigil. And let me refresh my Facebook is reloading. They're going to be having a vigil in Hartford on this evening, and we asking you to go out to that vigil on Bushnell Street, 6 o'clock, and that vigil is sponsored by Mothers United Against Violence. That happens today. The vigil happens today. Sorry for the reception. The internet service here is spotty. But the vigil for the young man shot on the South End in Hartford will be today. And we ask you to go out. It takes place today at 6 p.m. in the South End on 64 Bushnell Street in Hartford. And the request of the family of Navian Ebanks, the wife of Navian, invites the public to join this vigil with her in remembrance of mutual support of their loved one. And so we ask you to go out and support that family during this time of bereavement. All right, my camera keeps acting up here for our internet service. But once again, if you hadn't got that announcement, the announcement is the Mothers United Against Violence. They'll be presenting a vigil on today on the corner of Bushnell Street, and it's in light of the young man that was shot and killed, Navian Ebanks. And the wife of Navian invites the public to join this vigil with her in remembrance and mutual support. So we ask you to go out 64 Bushnell Street in the city of Hartford and support this vigil. All right? A lot of things happening in our city. We ask you to pray for our city as we go through the things that we're going through in our city. In Hartford here, so much is going on. And so we need the community. We need you, ma'am and sir. We need you to support. We need you to support what's going on in the communities. Take initiative to support what's going on in the communities. There's a lot of things happening. We need for the community to get involved. We need for the people in Hartford to get involved into politics, get involved with your community. Just get involved because there's so much happening in our communities that we need support for the community. A lot of things are happening now that's ridiculous. And so we need to have people in the office that's going to support Hartford. we need people that's in the offices that's going to support our community, to help us with the needs in our community. And so we asking you all that you can to get involved into the communities in any way that you possibly can. There's support groups that you can set up. There's community groups that you can help set up. There is, block watches that you can set up. Just get involved in the community. And so with that being said, and our internet is still spotty over here, but we want you to get involved, Hartford, and have a say-so on what's going on in our communities, and to assist our communities in what's going on. All right? Well, we have our staff here. Happy New Year. I want to thank Brother Armando. He's always here. Brother Armando, Sister Trish, and I want to thank Mr. Lloyd for being here with us. A happy New Year, everyone. Hope you had a safe and happy New Year, holiday season. Holidays every day, so you make the best of it. I felt like doing like my daughter did. She went back to California, and where it's nice and warm at 70, 80 degree weather. Because it's been so cold here, I was about to jump ship with her and go back to California with all this cold weather in our community here. Oh boy, in Hartford. Glad to be back here with you all on today. Sorry for the bad news at the beginning, but we want to make sure that the community knows and go out and support the family of that young man that was shot and killed. We've had like 2 homicides within the beginning of the year. One at the end of the year, and then one at the beginning of the year. And these young men were fathers, brand new fathers in the community. And so, we have to say special prayers to those that are in our communities on today. With that said, I'm gonna turn it over to Mr. Lloyd, and I think since Trish is in the conference room, but anyway, we'll continue on with the information to the community until Sis Trish comes back. See what else we got going on here. There are warming centers. There are complete warming centers right here in the city. 24-hour warming centers in the city. There's 24 hours warming centers in the city. And if you have a friend, neighbor, relative that are homeless, they can go to the Willie Ware Center on Windsor Street. And that warming center is 24 hours a day. 24 hours till further notice. They can go to the Willie Ware Center and go there for 24 hours and keep warm. Make sure you let people know that center is located right on Windsor Street, right here in the city of Hartford. You can actually Google them, the Willie Ware Center, and get more information. You can give them a call if you know someone that is in the cold, and they're open 24 hours a day. And it's great that we have the warming centers open. Also, we have the Hartford Public Library during the day, and we have some of the community centers during the day, Parker Memorial Center, and we have other centers in the city of Hartford. You could just Google those and send the people over there to the center. If there's any churches out there that have warming centers, let us know. We're happy to be able to make the announcement about the warming centers. All right. Without further ado, Sis Trish, we're going to turn into our co-producer's hand, and he's going to have a few words. All right.
Okay. Okay, welcome back, everybody. Hope you had a great holiday and you're planning on having a healthy and prosperous 2018. It's 2018. Are you ready? The clock is ticking. The clock is ticking. It's 2018, And hopefully this time next year, you would have some noticeable improvements in the quality of your life and the conditions in our community.
Right.
Let me see. Okay, new year, new goals. Have you sat down and made any goals and objectives for the year? Are you planning on having a new job? In between now and the end of the year, you're going to take some courses to improve yourself, make you more marketability. Okay, you're going to stick to that diet this year. Year. Some experts claim that 80% of the people forget their resolutions by February. We got to do a little better. Okay, got to do a little better. If that's true, let's try to keep them at least 6 months. Make your resolutions and try to keep them for 6 months. If you can't do the whole year, do half of the year.
Yep.
Okay, new goals. You're going to school. Maybe you can get your finances together. You're going to buy that condo that you wanted. Okay, so there's a lot of things. Maybe you want to strengthen the relationship with you and your children. Okay, or your other family member. Once again, always advocating that you vote. Always advocating that you vote. Did you put that list up on your refrigerator, all the elected officials that represent you in your community where you live? Okay. Now, okay, here's something. Oprah Winfrey for president.
Well,
How do you feel about that?
Yeah.
There's been a lot of talk in the last 24 hours, all of a sudden, Oprah for president. So what do you think? First of all, you think you need to go and register to vote, and then you can really have some input. But think about it. Talk about it with your friends, your in-laws, your outlaws, whatever. And what do you think? A black woman for president? It can't be any worse, that's for sure. In fact, how many of you remember Shirley Chisholm? She was the first black woman that I'm aware of, way back in, the mid-70s, that ran a campaign for president. So now we have Oprah. So let's get ready for it. Also, next Monday, very important, next Monday is Dr. King's birthday, federal holiday. Next Monday. What you going to do? You don't have to work. I know you're not going to sit around and watch television all day on Dr. King's birthday. So we have some options for you. Number one, Mount Olive Church is having the national president of the NAACP next Monday at, I believe, at 10 o'clock in the morning. That's Mount Olive Church on Main Street. The national president of the NAACP will be there as a guest speaker. And later that day at the Wadsworth Athenaeum, they're going to have a Dr. King Family Day. A lot of activities for young people and their parents, very nice event. So there's two things going on that we know about, now you know about, and there's probably some other things going on.
And we had our viewers just join back in on Facebook. We want to take this opportunity to thank you once again for tuning in on Facebook. We've been having some internet issues. And so we saying special prayers to a young man that was shot and killed on the South End in Hartford. And so we want to say special prayers to that family, the young man that was shot and killed in Manchester. We want to say special prayers going out to that family. Thanks again for joining in. We're having some internet problems here at the station, and so we'll continue to bring you good quality programming. And so we asking you to say special prayers to those families that have lost loved ones throughout the years. And today we're going to have a young lady. Her name is Lakia Siobhan Leitner, and I'm hoping that the internet service keep up so that we can have her come on. She'll be coming in a half-hour mark. She is the CEO of the Mixed Race Love magazine, 2018 edition. Her name is Lakia Siobhan Leitner, and she'll be talking with us about her magazine and getting involved in women's empowerment. And so we ask you to stay tuned for that interview coming up real soon. And we want to thank our staff here, Brother Armando, Brother Mike, Sister Trish, once again, for being here, and our co-producer, Mr. Lloyd Carter. Thank him for being on the show also. We just want to say Happy New Year to everyone, and God bless you. And I'm going to turn it over to my co-producer, and he's going to start all over from the beginning.
Okay, one thing I didn't mention earlier, I definitely want to mention now, Nina Simone. Nina Simone. What? You never heard of her? Who is she? Nina Simone was a very famous jazz protest singer back in the 70s and 80s. Probably one song you definitely want to download and maybe play it every day before you leave the house. To Be Young, Gifted, and Black. That was probably her most famous song, To Be Young, Gifted, and Black.
Right.
If you never heard of it, I don't know. But anyway, you can always download it. Nina Simone, To Be Young, Gifted, and Black. I bring up her name because she was recently admitted to the, the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. And she wasn't a rock and roll singer, but she had some very protest songs, I guess you would say. And they felt she was eligible. She's been admitted to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame once again. Nina Simone, To Be Young, Gifted, and Black.
All right.
Download it, play it in the morning before you leave the house. Explain it to your family members, particularly explain it to young folks in your family, what's so important about this song. Okay? Now, once again, Oprah Winfrey, they've been talking about her running for president, nominating Oprah Winfrey for president. What do you have to say about that?
All right, Hartford. If you're out there and you're watching us live, type in your comment. What do you think about Oprah becoming president? Will it happen or will it not happen? I was listening on the radio and they talked about Oprah so bad that I don't think she would want to run for office.
Oh, yeah.
When it comes down to it. Anytime, you have a black individual that would like to run for political office, they're always going to bring up some dirt and say that they're not qualified or something. What are your thoughts on this? She's a respectable woman in the community and all around the world and globally. And they're bashing her already on the radio, on the TV. They're saying some of everything. I believe she would be a great president, better than the one that we have now. I believe that she would be a great. I'm gonna say it again. I believe that she would be a great president, better than the one that we have now.
Right.
What are your thoughts on Oprah being president? Let us know. Type in your comment. We'd like to hear from you. If you're in the studio and you're watching in Hartford, the telephone number is 860-524-8920. 860-524-8920.
And don't forget, once again, this coming Monday is Dr. King's birthday. It's a federal holiday. There are going to be at least 2 programs going on in Hartford in observance of his birthday. And it's a federal holiday, so that means you're probably not going to work. But let's do something positive, something to spread the word of the ideas and the value of Dr. King. And so what I'm saying is, don't stay around and watch TV all day. Get out and do something. There will be a speaker at Mount Olive Church next Monday. I believe it's at 10 o'clock in the morning. I'm kind of sure. And the speaker, the gentleman, is the national president of the NAACP. So let's turn out, support, okay? And also the Wadsworth Athenaeum will have their annual Dr. King Family Day.
Yeah.
It's a family-oriented event, and it's a great event. And even if you don't have a family, you might want to go and check it out. Do something positive that day. And your New Year's resolutions, I hope you set some. How are you going to be new and improved 1 year from now? Are you going to be dealing with the same issues? Or are you going to sit down and think about, well, I got this problem in my life, I got a year, what can I do every day to help me reach my goal. Because every day you should make some type of progress to whatever your goals are. Your goal is to be a millionaire? Okay, then you need to sit down and work out. Your goal is to be a better baseball player? You need to sit down. Your goal is to be a better parent? Sit down and talk about it with your children, with the husband or the father, and how are we going to do this year so next year we don't be dealing with the same issues. Okay. Let me see. Had the pleasure of attending a city council meeting last night. Now, the city council works this way. They meet twice a month. The first Monday of the month is what they have open forum. This is where you as a citizen in Hartford can go and talk to the city council members about your concerns, your issues, your compliments, or your complaint. Get involved. Don't complain if you don't organize. Don't complain if you don't vote. Okay, there are things that you can do to make sure your needs and concerns are met. And looking at television, 40 hours a week is not doing anything. So the city council meeting meets twice a month. And the first meeting of the month is they have a what they call a community forum. Now, the next meeting of the city council is scheduled to be on Dr. King's birthday, but they're going to postpone it until the day after, which will be the 16th of this month at the city council. So, and you ought to know who your city council members are. Do you know who any of your city council members are? Do you know who any of your state representatives, do you know who your state representative or senator is? Okay, good time to get to know these people is not during a crisis situation. Get to know them before, and then when there's a crisis and you're registered to vote, they'll be more receptive to helping you. So some of the things that were talked about last night. The city is planning to replace creating a Department of Public Libraries within the city. Right now, the library is operated by a nonprofit organization. What do you think about that? Should the library be part of the city, or should they maintain its status as a separate nonprofit organization? Okay. Now, suppose you're for it or against it. What do? You'll call your city council member and let him or her know that you take this position on that issue. Okay. Let me see. Another one. Ordinance requiring owners of residential rental properties or 3 units or more to register with the Division of Licenses and Inspectors. So, you have a home, it's a 3-family house, you got to get registered with the Division of Licenses and Inspections every year. Or you own a few properties, same thing, you need to register with the city. Something else might be interested. What we got here? There's going to be establishing a contribution retirement plan for nonprofit city employees. Okay, so if you're working somewhere or you're working for the city and you're not in the union, they're now working on a contribution retirement plan for you to help you out. Okay. And February the 2nd is going to be an event honoring local African American people. It's probably going to be at City Hall. It's February the 2nd. More information next week. Now, okay, what do we have here? The film screening and community conversation, Life on Parole, at the library. But I think it will be Wednesday the 17th. The date is definitely the 17th. Okay, at the library, there's going to be a film screening and community conversation on life on parole. Light refreshments will be served, and it starts at 6 o'clock. Or something else do you do? A lot of us know people that are on parole, or you're on parole, you want to find out what's available to you. Okay, now just in case there's another snow day, the new date will be the 25th of January. You can meet the producers and engage in conversation with former parolees and current criminal justice professionals. So that's the 17th, which is a Wednesday, Life on Parole. Now, for the young folks, Teen Science Cafes. At the Teen Science Cafes, young folks can interact with scientists to do hands-on activities and meeting other teens. Open to all teenagers, free event, free food. They'll be held at the Legacy Foundation, 1229 Albany Avenue. The next one will be January the 24th. January the 24th, 5:30 to 7, Legacy Foundation, 1229 Albany Avenue. And what happens at these events? At the Teen Science Cafe, teens can interact with scientists, do hands-on activity, and meet other teens. Why is this important? The most demands for skills in the upcoming decades will be science, engineering, and math. STEM, you see it all the time, the acronym STEM, science, technology, engineering, and math. Those are the jobs of the future. Go on the internet and look at the fastest growing job growth projected for the next 10 to 20 years. You need a strong science background, you need a strong math background, you need a strong engineering background. That's happening in the future, so don't wait. Start planning now. And the Greater Hartford Legal Aid, the Community Health Service, and the Hartford Public Library will be having law students available certain days of the week where you can come and get legal information. So every Monday at the Cantfield branch of the Hartford Public Library, 30 Cantfield Avenue, there'll be a few law students there to help you with your legal issues. Also on Wednesdays from 1:30 to 4:30, Community Health Services, 550 Albany Avenue in Hartford. Once again, there'll be a few law students there from the area law schools to help you with your legal issues, including family violence, housing, public benefits, employment, education, elder, immigration matters, and victims of violence. And on Thursday, the Park Street branch of the library, from 10 to 1. The same thing is happening. There will be some legal students there from area law schools dealing with your legal issues they might be able to help you with. And on Park Street at the library, that will be done in English and Spanish. So our community justice fellows are law students, interns who cannot provide legal advice, but they can provide you with information about legal aid, take information for evaluation of staff and attorneys, and direct members of the community to legal and social resources. So once again, something else, get some help.
And when is this?
Okay.
Because we may have some viewers out there that
Didn't write it down.
that actually is going through some difficulties or something,
Okay.
issues.
Right.
Whether it's housing, right?
Housing, public benefits, employment, education. Maybe you're an elderly person and you can't get the services you need for some reason. So once again, this is a combined effort of the Greater Hartford Legal Aid, the Community Health Service, and the Hartford Public Library.
And so what they'll do is they'll give you advice in the community. So if you're out there, you're facing some issues, and you would like to seek some extra advice, they can point you in the right direction anyway.
Right, okay. And they'll be doing them on Monday, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. On Monday, they will be at the Campfield Branch Library at 30 Campfield Avenue, and that's 12:30 to 3:30. And that one will be bilingual also. On Wednesdays, 1:30 to 4:30, they will be at the Community Health Service, 500 Albany Avenue. And then on Thursdays, it'll be at the Park Street branch of the library from 10 to 1, and that will be bilingual. Once again, they cannot give you legal advice, but they can provide you information where to get advice. Okay?
Yeah, because a lot of people just want to be pointed in the right direction.
There you go.
They send them all over the different areas and tell them you got to go here and you got to go there. Point me in the right direction where I got to go to get what I need to get done. So that's great.
And don't forget, February the 2nd, I'll be giving some more information on that. Will be an event honoring significant people in our community. Okay.
Well, I tell you, we got a lot of things happening in Hartford, you know, and yeah, we want you to support the different events that's happening. And once again, don't forget the Dr. Martin Luther King event happening at the Wadsworth Athenaeum. And that happens, when is it?
The 15th, on his birthday.
On his birthday.
Yeah.
And it says here, join the Connecticut Center of Nonviolence Trainers and art making and making interactivities commemorating the life of the legacy Dr. Martin Luther King, January the 15th at the Wadsworth Athenaeum, 600 Main Street in Hartford from 9 a.m. to 5 o'clock p.m. Free admission. All levels of art experience welcome. And so you want to go there and support that event. And also happening on January the 14th from 3 to 5 p.m. There's going to be a Songs of Freedom sing out honoring Dr. Martin Luther King. And this all happens at the community room, 129 Main Street. And this is in Woodbury, Connecticut. It's sponsored by the Connecticut Center of Nonviolence. And that happens on January the 14th, 2018. So they're doing it up here. Please send us your announcements. You can inbox me, or you can send it to our email address, hartfordhcl@gmail.com, and we'll be happy to post your community event.
Okay. I've always, I think Hartford, the black community, we're very fortunate. And in particular, we have 4 black newspapers in Hartford. 4 black newspapers. One is the North End Agent. The other one is the Inquiring News. There's another paper called the West Indian American, and the Nation of Islam has their paper called the Final Call. You should be reading these papers. Believe it, believe it, believe it. Mainstream media does not cover our community. The issues and concerns of our community are not covered the way they are in the different black newspapers in Hartford. Okay. Now, I've been mentioning, without giving any details, about the Dr. Martin Luther King celebration, Monday, January the 15th. That's this coming Monday at 12 noon. And it's put together by Pastor Ronald Holmes of the Greater Hartford Interdenominational Ministerial Alliance. Now, 12 noon, Mount Olive Church, 20 Battle Street, Battles in Maine. Senior Pastor, Reverend Watkins. The guest speaker will be Reverend Cornelius Williams Brooks. Reverend Cornelius William Brooks. He was the national NAACP president. So that's something for you to do Monday. More than likely, you don't have to work, and we don't want you staying home all day watching television. Get out and get involved in your community block watch. Some areas they have cleanup crews going out.
Yeah.
Get involved with working with some of the unwed mothers, the homeless. Do something positive. Don't waste a day. And this is one of the 2 great newspapers here in Hartford, the North End Agent. The other one is Inquiring News. Now, imagine this. This is an all-star show. Snoop Dogg and Martha Stewart are going to be at one of the casinos this coming week. In fact, it's going to be, when is it? Oh, January 27th. Okay? And so they're going to be together. Whoa, Snoop Dogg. January 28th. It's a paid event. We don't mention prices, but check it out on the internet. Sounds like something very interesting. But once again, these papers, they cover issues important to our community. Health is something. The rise of hepatitis C from the the drug infection that's going on all over the country all of a sudden, okay? Oh, man. And Greater NAACP is wishing everybody a Happy New Year. It was interesting last night at the city council meeting. I'm glad we got a hardcore about 30 people, no matter what's going on with this, some major meetings like this, they're representing, even though there's a lot more than 30 black people in Hartford, but unfortunately you see the same familiar faces when anything like this is going on, you know?
And we say once again, make sure you get involved in your communities and to your local politics or your community, whether you can set up a block watch, working with the elderly. In your churches, you can work in the community with or through your churches, and get involved because now there is so much of a press now. They had something on the Medicare laws for the elderly.
Oh, yeah.
And they took a vote at the Capitol on yesterday, I believe it was. And that vote was a major vote. It was a win-win situation for elderly, the medical and Medicare for elderly. They wanted to snatch it away from the elderly people. So there are things in the communities that we need to really fight for, and we need to work along with the local politicians to get whatever we need to get done. And I want to thank the state representative Brandon McGee, who sent out the email on earlier today, between yesterday and today, for that information. Because there's so much going on in our communities, and thank goodness that they're working on these different things, these different issues in our communities.
Because that medical issue that was voted on yesterday has some major implications for seniors in this state.
Yeah.
Because it was tune of $54 million. Okay, and if that had not been voted, hadn't been approved, it would be some serious financial hardship for elderly people that had medical issues on limited resources.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
And fortunately, the elected officials made wise decisions. So now when you have a medical issue, you're a senior person, it won't be increasing your high blood pressure and stress because the government's going to take care of part of that bill.
And your state representative, it says many residents in Hartford and Windsor have reached out to me to discuss how they would be impacted by the cut to the MSP. And I want you to know that I heard you and I shared your concerns with my colleagues in the legislature. Connecticut takes care of its seniors. And so he sent out that email to let us know that, hey, he said, I am pleased that this vital lifeline was restored. And he said, please reach out to me if you have any additional questions. And that's State Representative Brandon McGee. And his direct number in his office is 860-240-1372. If you would like to know more information about that medical savings program, all right? More than 113 seniors and disabled individuals depend on state program to purchase their medical Part B benefits, all right? So reach out to your state representatives and find out a little bit more about what's going on, because if little by little they want to snatch little by piece from the community. Also, there is talks on the school systems, parents out there. If you are a parent, if you are a community leader in the Hartford area, you need to follow up with the Hartford Board of Education on what they're doing with the schools. There's been some talks of closures for different schools, at least 3 schools in the Hartford area. You need to be aware of what's going on. Is your son or daughter or grandchild is impacted by what they're doing with the school system. So that's the reason why you need to participate in the Board of Education meetings. They have a meeting list online. You can go to the Hartford Board of Education, Hartford schools, school systems online, and type in Board of Education, and you can see the schedule of meetings that they have to talk about, about the school closures, anything that deals with your child in the school system, whether it's getting on the bus or not. Recently, in the Hartford News, in the Hartford newspaper, they had a situation with a young grandfather who stood at the corner waiting for his grandchildren to come out of school, and it was an unsafe area, and so he was out there. Sometimes he's out there working with the children and helping them cross the street because they don't have anyone, and so there was an issue with one of the school principals about some cones that were being moved unsafe, and so he is a grandfather, and so that young lady called the police on that grandfather, and so these are the things that we're dealing with in a community. When you try to help, it becomes a hindrance, and I think that is wrong. Mm-hmm. That is definitely wrong of her, there's ways you can sit down and talk with an individual, and not having to go into law enforcement for an elderly veteran of our community of good statures, and I think that could have been handled a little bit better, and so then you're gonna have parents that's not gonna want to stand out there and watch the children, where cars are running rapid down Albany Avenue, cars are running rapid down Woodland Street, and somebody needs to be there to help these children cross the streets in the crosswalk areas. And so that grandfather stood in the gap, and look what happened. He was degraded by that school official because he was doing the right thing. There were some cones there. He just mentioned, don't move the cones, and it got blown out of proportion. I think an apology should be made to that grandfather, for stepping up in our community. I mean, what are the cones there for anyway? Is to protect the young children, and so that nobody don't go and pull up next to the cones. And so the school official was wrong. I believe, in my opinion, was wrong, and I think that we should support that grandfather in any way possible. Community need to get together, support that grandfather, and we need more grandfathers like that, more veterans like that. That's going to stand up in the gap. That's not saying that he doesn't respect your position, but a lot of times you can take your position to your head, and make things worse, and uncalled for when it comes down to our community. When you have a person in the community that want to do right, and you degrade that individual, that stops our community from helping out in our community. Elderly grandfather, and you're going to degrade him by saying that he's not a actual crossing guard, where he's standing in a gap, volunteering his time out on the streets to help cross the young children across the street, and you want to degrade him? Come on. There's something wrong with our system. It's wrong with our people, wrong with the officials. It's something wrong when you have an official that's going to degrade a parent. Come on now. That is ridiculous. And the community should come together and stand up and talk about this issue. and it was presented in the local town paper, and I know everyone saw it. A grandfather, a veteran in our community, being degraded by one of the school officials. That's wrong. That is wrong. That is wrong. And that is wrong to move cones. That is wrong to move cones and to move your car into that space, saying that they normally do it all the time. Mm-hmm. And other crossing guards, they allowed it. Mm-hmm. And why? And he's not a crossing guard. You know, here's a elderly grandfather who is taking the responsibility and being out there with the children where there's no one out there with the children, you know? And so we want to commend that grandfather. Thank you. We want to commend that grandfather for the great work that he has done. And don't stop doing your work. Don't let this stop you. You respect their position like they want you to respect their position, and you continue doing the work, all right? Because we need more mothers, we need more fathers out there with the children, because sometimes the children, they walk alone on the streets, and they need that support, you know?
There's another very important publication that generates, it's printed here in Hartford, it's been around for a long time, it's called the Northeast News Today, Employment and Legal Notice Opportunity. It's a very unique publication. It comes out monthly. And once again, it's the Northeast News Today. And what it is actually a listing of black businesses in New England. So if you want to go to Boston and you want to find a barber shop, or you want to go to Boston and you want to find an attorney, you can just look under barber shops, and this will give you names, addresses, and phone numbers, maybe not all the barber shops in Boston, but quite a few of them. The same thing if you want to move to New Haven and you want to find out an attorney in New Haven. You get this publication. It's called, once again, the Northeast News Today. And it's a listing of many of the black businesses in New England, not just Hartford, but in New England. Mm-hmm. And so, like on the first page, they have black architect, okay, advertising agencies, okay, adoption services. So you name it, you go into Springfield, Mass, and you want to find out if there's any black dentists in Springfield, then you want to look at this book.
All right.
Look on the dentist.
All right, Hartford. Well,
okay.
We've been having so many people on Facebook and people out in TV land want to talk with CEO Lakia Siobhan Lightner. She's here. She made it from out of town. We got about 6 minutes, and we're going to just go with her, and she's going to give us a quick overview of her new magazine, 2018 edition of Mixed Race Love Magazine 2018. The CEO Lakia Siobhan Lightner. All right, welcome.
Welcome, everybody.
Yes.
Hi.
Yes, just give us a little history of your magazine, overview to our community, because we had so many people on Facebook wanted to hear about your magazine, about why you decided that you would print this magazine, some of the whens, wheres, whys, and hows.
The reason why I chose to do the magazine because I have a public relations background, and I'm able to write what I want. In college, when you're working with the school newspaper, you have to write the articles that they pick out for you. So since I'm a graduate, I can write whatever I want to write, and I write about topics that no one else wants to talk about.
Yeah.
That's what makes it unique.
Oh yeah, and so this magazine, Mixed Race Love Magazine, is designed to showcase the mixed race experience through advertisement, fashion, beauty, photography, people lives and college lives. Tell us a little bit about fashion, beauty.
Yes, whatever, what's in and what's out, I'm here to advertise it. People can send me $5 for one page if you want to advertise through the pages of the magazine.
Yep. And people lives and college life. And so you deal with a lot of college students?
I deal with a little bit of everybody.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, I open it up for everybody.
All right. And some articles are my views and issues I wrote about in college, reviews on music, movies, and books. And so, yeah, we got a little bit of everything in here. And so this magazine is available. And so we can't say prices on the line, but we can say how you can reach out to Miss Lakia and get some information. How would they be able to reach out to you if they want to get a copy of this magazine?
We have a website. It's on the page you're just reading off.
Okay.
It's a website, and we have an app as well.
Okay. And the magazine, please email
Yeah.
Mixed Race Love Magazine 37 at yahoo.com. And also they are facebook.com Mixed Race Love Magazine, Twitter, and at Mixed Race Love Magazine, plus app at the Google Play Store, so they can go on the computer and get a app.
It's free
On the
to
phone.
download. I make sure it's free.
Oh, it's a free download on the computer application. And our site is mixedracelovemagazine.wixsite.com is the website for more information about this fantastic magazine. Had a great opportunity. We got a few more minutes left in the program. Had a great opportunity to have Hartford community leaders featured on one of the pages in this magazine. And
That's the page.
yep, and it says the amazing Donald Paget from Hartford Community Leaders. So we had a whole full page on the magazine, and so we had a lot of response from the community, wanted to know, wanted to talk with you. Hey, if you have a question real quick, type in your question. We can get it to Lakia. And give us an encouraging word to a young lady that's out there that would like to, do a magazine, that would like to do in fashion, that would like to, do a little something for her community, for her personal life. Give her an encouraging word.
I would say, first of all, reach out to me. I don't mind helping someone else because people have helped me in my life. And I say, go for whatever you want to go for in this life. Life is short, and do whatever your heart desires, and don't let no one tell you that you can't do something.
All right. And so, is this your first edition for the new year, or is it? This is first edition for 2018,
Yes,
right?
just for 2018.
Okay, and how long has the magazine been
Available?
Oh, yeah,
1 year.
1 year? All right,
Yes.
all right. And what is this? The featured cover on the magazine says resolutions.
It ties into the articles in there. If
Okay.
you read the articles, you will see. Yeah, I'm not gonna give too much away.
All right. She wants you to get that more information and on how to receive this resource. It's a magazine, 2018 Mixed Race Love Magazine, 2018, and pretty much your magazine is based on a lot, but most of the things that you cover here is empowerment for women.
Yes.
Why did you want to include that for empowerment for women?
Because I'm a woman, and I absolutely love the women's studies field. Actually, going to obtain a PhD in it.
All right.
Yes, I love the field so much that I want a PhD in it.
And so have you worked with a lot of young women in your field that you've studied in?
Yes, my nonprofit is a sorority for women, and I develop a lot of programs.
Okay.
For women.
Okay.
Yes.
What are some of the challenges that women have been facing, that you've experienced?
I have to say everything. Everything is pertinent to me.
Okay.
Yes, I touch upon everything. I don't discriminate.
And
Yes,
what
Lloyd?
your definition of mixed race? What's your definition of mixed race? Because some people might be confused.
Well, I have to say I have members that's biracial. They actually have one black parent and one white parent.
Okay.
Then I have
okay.
members that have Native American in them, and they have black in them. Some members are Chinese, like one parent is Chinese and the other one's black. So that's why it was important
Okay.
for me to name it that.
And so it covers beauty, fashion, and you know, and they have different styles.
Yes.
You know, of fashion,
Yes.
and photography.
Yes.
You know, you have the different, you know, ethnic backgrounds in photography, and so she wanted to cover that. What are some of the goals that you would like to see happen with this magazine?
First of all, I want to finish my trade and vendor forms. I'm working on that and be all in stores.
All right.
Yes.
All right. She's looking to have these magazines in all the stores. And so we want you to support. Early in the programming, we gave you the information on how to reach out to Lakia. And we definitely want to support her. Yeah.
Thank you, Donna.
Yes,
Thank you,
great.
Lloyd.
We have the, and if you want to email her, it's Mixed Race Love Magazine 37@yahoo.com. You can email her personally and you can send your message to her. Once again, that email address is Mixed Race Love Magazine 37@yahoo.com for more information. All right? Hartford. Well, we got about a minute left in the programming. We'll see you next week, same time. Don't forget the vigil tonight, 6 o'clock,
Oh, yeah.
Bushnell Street, 6 o'clock with Mothers United Against Violence. Support Reverend Henry Brown. All right? God bless.
All right, thank you. I'm sorry I'm late.
Oh, it's all right. At least you showed up.
Yeah,
You're
my
the
friend had a boat they were removing from their shop. Someone came pick up their boat.
Oh.
Yeah,
okay.
but I was ready. I was already down here already.
Yeah.
I was, you know me. I was here early, just waiting on them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you had sent me a message that said you was on your way.
Yeah, I was close. I was right there. Just I had to wait.
Yeah.